Hey everyone, welcome to my library. My name is Melissa, and today I am doing part one of my Christmas book haul. This haul will specifically feature my historical fiction slash family sagas slash classics. And then as well, I thought I would begin this haul with all the bookish items that I got that are not books. So hopefully you start here with the book haul, and then if you're interested in historical romances, that will be the second part, and that will be a separate video. So yeah, okay, so let's just get into it because I have a lot to cover. I got very spoiled this year, and I will openly admit that. I did buy some of these books for myself, so that kind of justifies it a little bit. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what I ended up getting for Christmas. So the first thing that has honestly been the highlight of my week, I've been using it every single day, has been this lithograph blanket that my husband got me. He surprised me with it. I can't show the full picture of it with how this camera is, but it's just, it's actually Pride and Prejudice is the words that are printed. And then the picture itself, I'll put a picture right here of what it actually looks like full scope. It's a picture of Lizzie and Darcy, and Lizzie is like tucked away behind a tree, I think. It's so cute. I love it. And it is the most comfortable, just blissfully cozy blanket ever. A perfect pick, and one that I was delightfully surprised by when he gifted it to me. So then I have some drinkware that is related to tea, which I also relate to reading. As you guys know, I'm a huge tea drinker. I love drinking it while I'm reading. And so let me show you the three things I got there. So the first thing is another thing my husband surprised me with. That is the sweetest thing ever. It is a custom Yeti mug that says Libraries and Labradors on it, like engraved. And then actually on the other side, it has a saguaro cactus with Christmas tree lights strung on it, which is very Arizona, by the way. So it's kind of like to remember that it was for Christmas while we lived here, right? And then obviously my channel name, my Instagram handle, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I've been using this every day as well. These two things have been my go-tos as I've been reading. This one is perfect to keep tea warm, and then it has a like cap to it. I don't know why it's so foggy right now. I think it's because I just cleaned it, but it has like a cap to it, so I don't have to worry about it spilling, which has been definitely, I've had some close calls before with my tea, and I definitely don't want it to be spilling on my reading chair. That would be worst case scenario. So yeah, this is definitely gonna help with that. Okay, so then another mug that my mother-in-law gifted me. She gifted me a ton of bookish stuff too. She gifted me this, and this is just gonna be the theme of this book haul. This says, "Yes, I really do need all these books." And it says that on this other side too. Just a really nice mug. I love the handle. It's nice and big, so I can just like haul it around. So yeah, so there's this. And then this is the thing that I got myself. I gifted myself because I have been on the hunt for a glass teapot. I have a plastic tea dispenser that I have been using since Teavana was around, like since they had actual stores, which is like, what, 6-7 years ago? And that one's fine, but I also really just wanted something a little bit nicer, something that I can be proud of to have on my kitchen table, on my kitchen counter. So I ended up buying this beautiful teapot. It's copper and glass and has this really like elegant black handle. So this is from a company called Bodum, B-O-D-U-M, which is actually a company my dad told me about. And anyways, so it's got this like removable copper top to it, and then it's got the filter here that you can balance on top, or like that, or if you want to immerse your loose leaf tea, you just put it on the bottom and then fill your teapot up with hot water. And anyways, it's perfect. I have been so loving this. I've been using this every day as well, and it's just so beautiful. So I will leave a link to this below. It was $30, which I don't think is bad for like a really nice piece like this. So anyways, yeah, I thought I would show this off as well. Okay, now the other bookish items are clothing and then 2 bookmarks. So the clothing I got from my mother-in-law. So she got me a ton of bookish stuff. And the first thing is socks, which I love socks. I wear socks all the time, night and day. I was telling a live stream last night, my feet never actually see the light of day. It's very true. So these were perfect. So these are like book themed socks. And then, sorry, I wore them, so they're coming from dirty like floors and stuff, so you probably see the dog hair. But it says, so many books, so little time, which is so true. So yeah, so here's the cute bookish socks. Then I got a shirt that is holiday book themed. And it says, oh, what fun it is to read. And yeah, this is so soft and cozy and so cute. And I'm gonna be wearing this year round. And then the other thing I got was a sweatshirt that says, I like big books and I cannot lie, which you all know is very true. And so, yeah, so those are the 3 items of clothing that I got that are bookish. Now, these are 2 bookmarks that I bought myself on Etsy to splurge, because really not a splurge. They were on sale, half off. So I think each of them were $4, which is crazy good deal for like how nice quality these are. And that's these 2. So I'll show off one first. So this is the first one. It says, in a hole in the ground, in the ground there lived a hobbit, which is the quintessential iconic first line in The Hobbit. Sorry guys, I had to answer a phone call, but hopefully the angle hasn't changed that bad. Anyways, the next bookmark I got was this one, which is Colonel Brandon and Marianne, a fandom that I don't think has a lot of representation on Etsy. And so I was so excited when I saw this in the store, on the Etsy store. And it says, for there is nothing lost that may be found if sought, which is a poem that Alan Rickman recites to Marianne in the movie, in like the 98 Emma Thompson movie. But I know it's also recited in the book as well. Anyways, so yeah, and I can tell that these are like muses for the 2 in the movie. So I just love this. I thought it was so cute, and I had to have it, just because I don't think there's a lot of Colonel Brandon and Marianne fandom stuff out there. So anyways, so yeah, here's the 2 bookmarks. Okay, so now on to the actual books. So I'm going to start with my classics, then I'll go into my historical fiction, and then we'll end with the family sagas. And I'll have timestamps for all of this down below, so you can skip ahead to what you're interested in. So the classics, I have 3 here, and the first one is in an edition. I get one every year, a new one every year, and that's the Penguin softbound classics. And so the one I chose for this year is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I know that many of you have told me that this is one of your favorites, or a Dickens that you recommend starting with. I have yet to read Dickens, and so anyways, I love the chandeliers on this and just think it's so pretty, and honestly makes me want to pick it up because of how pretty it is. So anyways, yeah, I'm excited that I own this, and we'll be putting it on my classic shelf, which is right here. I know there's a lot of Penguin cloth bounds here, so maybe it'll go there, but this is technically my favorites shelf. So, you know, it doesn't belong there yet, but anyways, okay, so yeah, here's this one. The next one is one my husband surprised me with because he knew I'd been looking for it in bookstores, and just not in an edition that I wanted. And anyways, so he bought me this, and it's Daniel Deronda by George Eliot. And this is the nice Penguin Classics like floppy version, which I'm so happy that he ended up purchasing. So yeah, this will definitely be my next Eliot. I know that I've had people recommend this to me in comments down below before saying that this is their favorite George Eliot. I read The Mill on the Floss this past year and loved it. And I've read Middlemarch, loved that book too. So I'm a huge fan of her and can't wait to dive into another one when the mood strikes, which honestly, this might happen early next year because I'm that excited about it. And then the other one is one I've featured before, that I found at Books on 7th Avenue. I'm also featuring books that I maybe featured in Vlogmas, just in case you guys didn't catch those books. This is kind of just a general books I acquired in December haul. So the next one is The Warden by Anthony Trollope. So this is the first book in the Barchester Chronicles, which is a series I really want to get to, hopefully next year. And it's nice and thin, so I don't think it'll take me too long to at least try it. But I also know this one isn't the favorite of the series, so to keep going if I don't love it, hopefully. So, but yeah, I'm still here for it. I'm still excited about it. But yeah, so here's this one in a nice, just classic Signet classic paperback. So anyways, okay, so there's that. So those are the 3 classics I got. So then let's move on to my historical fiction, which is a lot. I am in the biggest mood for historical fiction right now. It's all I want to read, and have been really enjoying the book I'm reading right now, which I will talk about. So the first one is another book I've featured before on Vlogmas, but I'll just show it here. That is These Is My Words, the Diary of Sarah Agnes Prine. And so I picked this up because I read this blurb here and I was like, excuse me? It says, Jack and Sarah are as delicious as a couple as Rhett and Scarlett. And if you guys know anything about me, you know that I'm a huge Gone with the Wind fan, a huge Rhett fan specifically. And so anyways, when I read that, I was like, okay, this has to go. I have to buy this. I bought this at the library for $2. But yeah, I've also heard people, when I mentioned this book in that video, that a lot of people loved this book and thought it was amazing. It's rated really highly, so I'm very, very excited about this. And it's set in Arizona, so really, it's just a huge win-win for me. So there's that. Okay, the next one is one I bought at Barnes & Noble. And that is Poldark, The Black Moon. So this is number 5. This is number 5 in the series. I actually am looking for the TV tie-in editions, so I'm very particular about which ones I want in this series to put on my shelves. So when I saw this at Barnes & Noble, I knew I wanted it because they're kind of hard to find. I don't know. But yeah, so this is the next book, nice and thick, which I'm excited about. And it smells like a new book and it's nice and floppy, so many things. But yeah, I need to read the 3rd book in the series next year. That's a goal of mine, just in my head kind of goal. 3rd and 4th, maybe 5th, who knows. But yeah, so there's this one. Okay, so the next one is one my husband got me, and it's one that I was on my wish list, and that is Beauty Among Ruins by Janelle Sialiski. I am so sorry, that last name is pretty hard. But anyways, I've been looking for World War I historical fiction specifically. It's kind of hard to find-ish. I mean, it's not as hard as other historical fiction, but it is still hard to find compared to World War II. And anyways, this one sounds so good. Let me just read the back, the blurb. It says, a Scottish lord and an American socialite discover love during World War I in this gorgeous historical romance. The undercurrent of mystery and Sielski's unflinching approach to the harsh realities of wartime only enhance the love story. Readers are sure to be impressed. So yeah, so I'm pretty sure this is set in Scotland in 1914. And like it said, it's about an American socialite and a Scottish, I don't know if he's a Scottish lord or, yeah, it looks like he owns a castle. So anyways, I am super interested in this and think it'll be great. So here's this one. Okay, the next one is one I've already featured as well, but that is Wives of War by Soraya M. Lane. So this is an author I'm really excited about. I own one of her books on my shelves that I have yet to read too. But this one is a story of 3 women in 1944. And I'm not sure what else it's about. I think they're all nurses is what I can remember from the back. But yeah, so it says, in a world at war, can 3 women find the happiness they're searching for? It's by one of my favorite publishing houses too, Lake Union Publishing. They come up with the best stuff. Like, I know Amy Harmon is signed with them. And anyways, so whenever I see Lake Union, I get really, really excited. I know it's Amazon, I think, but anyways. So yeah, here's this one. I love the cover, and I'm excited about this one. Okay, the next 2 are part of a series that is going to be very obvious why I got them. And that is the second and the third book in the Maisie Dobbs series. So the second one being Birds of a Feather by Jacqueline Winspear. And then the third one being In This Grave Hour. So this one I got at the library for $2, crazy good deal, hardback. And then this one I got from my wish list on Amazon. And this is the smaller, just newer version of the paperback. So I have this one queued up on my Libby app like via audio if I wanted to listen to it, or if I want to just read it, I have it physically. So 2 good choices for me there. But maybe I'll just do both and do like a simultaneous experience. I don't know. I'm debating, but I am so eager to continue with this series. It has made such an impact on me, has made me such in the mood for historical fiction specifically. And so, yeah, I'm just really eager to continue on. I know there's 16 books in this series, or 17. So yeah, there's a lot to keep going. So anyways, excited to have these 2. Okay, so the next one is also a World War I historical fiction that my husband got me. And this is a new release as well. It came out in 2021 in October. So it's maybe not on your radar yet, I don't know. But that is The Woman at the Front by Licia Cornwall. And this one is about it says, a uniquely female perspective of World War I, a beautiful, touching, romantic women's fiction novel that is sure to delight fans of Downton Abbey. Yeah, I love Downton Abbey, and that is exactly what I'm looking for, that kind of vibe. And so what I know about this book is it follows one woman, her name is Eleanor Atherton, who is eager to make a name for herself as a physician during this time, which is kind of rare. And so she ends up going to the front and is kind of doubted by everybody. But then I guess she just kind of proves, it's the story of her, you know, being on the front and all the trials she faces there and the friendships she makes. And it just sounds so good. I'm so excited about it. I love doctor and nurse stories as well. That's like a niche of mine that I really love. And so anyways, yeah, I'm very, very excited about this one and have super high hopes for it. Okay, the next one is one I have had on my TBR, have wanted to buy and cannot find anywhere for some reason. for years now, literally years. That is The Beantown Girls by Jane Healy. So I finally purchased it on Amazon because I need to read it. It is so highly rated on Goodreads. It's crazy. And it sounds like one that's going to be similar to The Flight Girls maybe, which is one of my favorite reads of this year. So good, by the way. If you guys have not picked that one up, that is like top historical fiction for me. But yeah, so this is the story of 3 women who volunteer as Red Cross Club Mobile Girls, which is a story that is not very well known about, I guess, where they're in charge of basically, like, as far as I know, it's kind of like an entertainment slash like nurse situation. But anyways, there's a romance in here I know of, and it just sounds so good. I'm very excited. One of them has a lost fiance, and so she's kind of motivated to go on the front and look for him or something. Anyways, lots of things going on. Lake Union Publishing again for the win. But yeah, so definitely check this one out if you guys are interested in one similar to The Flight Girls, or one that you that like I know specifically is super highly rated. So yeah, put this one on your radar. Okay, so those are all of my strictly historical fiction books. And I cannot wait. I'm so excited about all of them. So one other book I'm just going to throw in the mix here. It's not historical fiction in any way, but one that I'm so excited that I own is Troubled Blood by Robert Galbraith. I've been so hooked on the Cormoran Strike series, as you guys know. It's basically just got me hook, line, and sinker. I have Lethal White kind of in the back of my brain to read as soon as possible. And then after Lethal White is this book. So yeah, it's a huge one, but one I'm so eager to get to, and really honestly cannot wait for. So yeah, here's this one. Okay, and then the only other random one that I didn't know where to fit in, that my mother-in-law gave me, is The Christmas Pig by J.K. Rowling. So yeah, this is a middle grade Christmas book as far as I understand. But I'm excited to own it still. Please let me know if you guys have read it, if you enjoyed it. I didn't get around to it this year, so it'll probably be one I save for next year to read. But yeah, it's a really pretty edition. I love the illustration here and the like shininess of it. Okay, now we are officially moving on to my family sagas. I have a huge pile here. It's crazy. This haul is gonna be forever long. And this is only part 1. Anyways, okay, so the first 2 are part of a series. Some of these I got from Serafina when she sent me a historical romance advent calendar. It was like historical romance / family sagas. So yeah, some of those I got from her. Some of them I've just acquired over the course of December. So anyways, it's a mix of things. But the first 2 are part of a series, and that is Through a Glass Darkly by Carleen Cohen. And then this one is the second one, called Now Face to Face by Carleen Cohen. So I've had this recommended to me to read. I know it's a 18th century set family saga, and it says, like Gone with the Wind, it is rich with characters so vivid, from aristocrats to scoundrels, they create their own immortality. Here's the story of a great family ruled by a dowager of extraordinary power, of a young woman seeking love in a world of English luxury and French intrigue, and of a man haunted by a secret that could turn all their dreams to ashes. Yes, I'm so excited about it. So yeah, I'm so stoked about these 2, honestly. And look how thick they are. That's another thing. I just love the thick paperbacks. So okay, so there's those. The next are books I've shown before, but this is the first one in a series. This is called The Raging Winds of Heaven by June Lund Shiplett. And it says, in a romantic saga of the flaming American frontier, she was thrust from innocence into a world of danger and desire. So yeah, so this is an American frontier set saga, and I think there's like 3 or 4 in this series as far as I know. And I'm very eager to get to it. So, and I love this cover. I love like how vintage and everything it looks. It's cool. So yeah, here's this one. The next one is one I have sung praises for already because I'm so excited about it and I just think it sounds so good. And that is The Emancipist by Veronica Gogan Sweeney. I don't know how to say the middle name. But this says, from the land of the Thornbirds, a sweeping saga of passion, ambition, and unforgettable love. Yes. Oh my gosh. And look how big. Anyways, so I know this is the story of this man who gets sent to Australia unwillingly, like as a convict, I think. And then he builds a dynasty there, meets a woman there, falls in love. And it's just this big historical family saga. So anyways, yeah, super highly rated on Goodreads as well. And one I'm very eager to get to. I want to try to do a reading vlog that is like reading books like the Thornbirds reading vlog, or that compare it to the Thornbirds, and this will definitely be one that I read for that. So yeah, so there's this one. The next one is also similar in that vein, where it's compared to the Thornbirds, and that is Hers the Kingdom by Shirley Straczynski. Sorry, I can't pronounce that. But yeah, so this is another one that says, for those of you who love the Thornbirds, this may be the epic saga you've been looking for. Yes. I know this is set in America though. This is about a woman who moves to California and builds an empire there with her husband, but then also falls in love with some forbidden love of some kind. And it says, for pride, for passion, for her children and her men, for the vast cherished acres of the Malibu, her kingdom, her home, her destiny. Like Gone with the Wind and the Thornbirds, a once-in-a-decade story that will sweep you away into another woman's life. Yes, everything I want. Okay, so there's this one. Okay, so the next one is one I saw bound and tagged on Instagram. I'll leave her link down below. She was reading this and I immediately wanted to read it. It sounds so up my alley. And anyways, I got it on Thrift Books. It's kind of a beaten copy, not gonna lie. What do you expect of Thrift Books? But it is Gone to Soldiers by Marge Piercy. And it's basically, it's 6 people and their story in World War II. And it says, their lives are our lives, their stories are stories, and Marge Piercy has succeeded brilliantly in writing the long overdue novel of the other World War II. Not the war fought on the front lines, but the war fought mostly by women on the factory lines, the food lines, and behind enemy lines in Europe. Yeah, I am so about that. I love women's stories and like talking about the behind the scenes action that happened during the world wars. So yeah, I'm so down for that. And nice and thick as well. So anyways, thank you so much for recommending this to me, bound and tagged. Anyways, I'm very excited about it. So there's that. Okay, so the next one is the first in a series as well. And this is set in New Zealand. So this is called Green Dolphin Country. Wow. Green Dolphin Country by Elizabeth Gouge. I've had this one on my TBR for a while and just happened to get it in this advent calendar I got from Serafina and was so excited about it. Here's the cover. But yeah, so it's about this woman named Marianne who ends up in New Zealand. And it says, and now Marianne, clever but awkward, was 16 years old. She daydreamed restlessly about the greater world beyond her quiet Channel Island home. She wanted to discover an exciting world that was forbidden to a well-brought-up Victorian girl. But most of all, she wanted William, her childhood sweetheart, for herself. And Marguerite, her pretty little sister, wanted him too. ... So anyways, yeah, sounds like there's going to be some sort of love triangle happening there. But yeah, I don't have a lot of books set in New Zealand, but this is definitely one, and one I'm excited about. Okay, the next one is one I've featured before, and that is The Immigrants by Howard Fast. This is the first in a series. What is the series called? I can't remember. But anyways, it's very well known, actually. There's a lot of, I think there's 5 or 6 books in the series. And this cover is so cool, by the way. I think it's very evocative. But if you can't tell, this is set in New York. So it's the story of the immigrants. I think it's like 2 or 3 different families. And it says, The Immigrants is also a love story of great beauty and great tenderness, the kind of love story that entangles the reader in the lives of the characters, so that after the book is closed, one continues to live with those characters. Yeah, I'm very excited about this. It's been on my TBR for a long time, and I finally found it at Books on 7th Avenue one day, and in this really, really cool hardback. And so, yeah, I bought it. Okay. So we have one more pile, guys. That's it. One more. We can do this. So, in no particular order, the next one is Cold Sassy Tree by Olive Ann Burns. This one was on my TBR as well, and one that Serafina included. And this is a classic Southern novel, from what I understand. So it's set in Georgia, and it says, let's see, Cold Sassy Georgia had never been a whirlpool of excitement. If the preacher's wife petticoat showed, the ladies would make the talk last a week. But on July 5th, 1906, things took a scandalous turn. That was the day E. Rucker Blakesley, proprietor of the general store and barely 3 weeks a widower, eloped with Miss Love Simpson, a woman half his age, and worse yet, a Yankee. On that day, 14-year-old Will Tweedy's adventures began, and an unimpeachably pious, deliciously irreverent town came to life. This sounds really, really cozy to me, like if it's the story of a small town kind of being, you know, not ruptured, but just something coming into the town and disturbing them, and then, you know, making a ruckus, I guess. It sounds really good. I'm excited about it. And I know it's been recommended to me before as a Southern book that I should get to. So yeah, here's this one. There's no step back if you're curious. It's just it's a step back, but it's not, you know, a classic step back. But yeah, so here's this one. Okay, another Southern set book by a classic Southern author is Colony by Anne Rivers Siddons. So this is actually a contemporary. It's not like historical or anything, but it's the story of this girl who's from South Carolina named Maud, and she ends up moving to Maine, and it's her adjusting to that life, that change of pace. And also I think like she struggles to fit in. Anyways, I'm not exactly sure the story there, but I know there's a love story in here that's really, really, sweet. It's like a small town kind of situation. And, yeah, so I was excited when I saw this book in the bookstore. It's been on my TBR for a long time. And so by an author that I'm really eager to read from. So yeah, pick this one up. Okay, so the next 3 are all ones I got in my advent calendar. One of them is Shadow of the Moon by MMK. So she wrote The Far Pavilions, which is a book that a lot of you have told me to read. MMK is known for this book and that book being set in India, and set in the early 1900s, I believe. And that's kind of a really interesting time. At that time, in India. And this one is a love story between a beautiful English heiress come home to her beloved India and of Captain Alex Randall, her protector, aching with need to possess her. Ooh. Maybe this should have gone in my historical romance book haul, but that's fine. So anyways, nice and thick as well. And I'm excited that I finally own an MMK, and am eager to read and learn all about a setting that I'm very not familiar with at all. So there's this one. Okay, this is by an author I have read from this past year, actually. That is Kathy Cash Spellman, and this one is So Many Partings. Such a weird cover. I'm not gonna lie, this cover is so whack. I'm sure there's probably a step back on some books. This one doesn't have one that would explain this situation. But yeah, so Kathy Cash Spellman wrote Paint the Wind, which I read this past year and absolutely loved. Such a good Western, Western historical. Oh my gosh, it was everything. And I really loved her writing. So atmospheric, just took me right there. And so I know this one is one that's set in, let's see, early America. And it says, from the brawling waterfront to gilded Fifth Avenue salons, through 4 generations, Dalton men and women would be rocked by the storms of history, carried on the tidal waves of their own passions, each to be victim and victor, harboring dark secrets and irreconcilable longings, fated to know the soaring exhilaration of dreams fulfilled, the sorrow of so many partings. So, oh, that's interesting. One of the blurbs says, the Irish-American answer to Howard Fast, sure to please. Oh, and even more Thornbirds comparisons. I'm telling you guys, everyone compares to the Thornbirds. So this one says, if you love the Thornbirds or ragtime, then So Many Partings may be your meat. So yeah, I'm very eager about this one as well. Excited about this one. It also intrigues me that it's set in like New York. I think that's fascinating as well. So there is that one. Speaking of the Thornbirds, we have a a book by the author, and that's Colleen McCullough, and this is Fortune's Favorites. So this book is huge. This is the 3rd book, I want to say, in her Men of Rome series. So she wrote a series set in ancient Rome times, basically fictionalizing, wow, I can't talk anymore, guys. Fictionalizing Caesar and his rise to power, from what I understand. There's even a step back, so yeah, very Roman. But yeah, so this is the 3rd book in that series. I own the 1st book. The 1st book is called The First Man in Rome. So I really want to get to it. I have yet to read another Colleen McCullough. I think it's a crime at this point that I haven't read more from her, from how much I have loved and adored and sung her praises with the Thornbirds. So it really does need to happen. I'm kind of ashamed of that, honestly. So yeah, to own another one of hers and to put it on my shelves will definitely make me motivated to want to get to this series. So there's this one. Okay, the next one is one I got at the bookstore. And I am just so intrigued by it. So this is called Louisa Elliott by Anne Victoria Roberts. And there's no step back. It's kind of boring. I mean, it's a step back, but so this is blurred by Laverle Spencer, who says, I was captivated, a triumph. And let me just read the back of this one. This classic romance, exquisitely told, is the sweeping chronicle of the life and loves of a remarkable woman, Louisa Elliott. Proud and determined, she battles to overcome the stigma of her illegitimate birth in the pitiless slums of York during the reign of Queen Victoria. An indomitable heroine, she is adored by her gentle, poetic cousin Edward, yet is irresistibly drawn into the passionate arms of Robert Duncannon, a handsome and dashing dragoon officer whose love could destroy forever Louisa's cherished dream of respectability. Breathtakingly sensual, sparkling, and alive with sumptuous period detail, Louisa Elliott is a magnificent work, a moving and unforgettable reading experience that touches the heart and enriches the soul. Yeah, everything about that is exactly what I love, especially that it's set in Victorian England, and the story of one woman and her loves and her family and her everything. I'm just so excited about it. So yeah, nice and thick as well. And yeah, so that's the last book, I guess, in this haul. We did it. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be like a 40-minute long haul, and it's only the first part. But yeah, that was everything I got. That was historical fiction, family saga, just not strictly historical romance based. And I really hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it was the most demanded or most popular genre when I asked and polled on my community page what you guys would be excited to watch. So yeah, so I'm glad I finally delivered. But please let me know down below if any of these books sound good to you. If you have read any of these books, would love to hear your thoughts. But with all that being said, please like and comment and subscribe if you want to see more from me. And I will see you guys in another video. Bye!